Hey there survivors, how's it going? I'm your host Douglas here at Drownboy Productions, bringing you another Screaming Ghostface Collector's video. Alright everyone, today we have a pretty fun video for you all. Today we're going to be taking a look at every style voice changer that was used in the entire Scream franchise. Mainly I just wanted to cover the movies, but there's not a whole lot to note about the TV series, so I think we'll go ahead and toss that in at the end, just as a fun little cliff notes. For many years, people hated on Ghostface and denied their presence as a slasher icon. For most people, it was because, oh, the killer was too goofy, constantly falling down, and wasn't really scary. For others, it was the argument that it's not the same person every single time, so it's not a slasher icon, but just a bunch of different people in costumes. However, at this point in time, Ghostface has for sure been cemented as a slasher icon, with many iconic traits. Jason has the machete and hockey mask. Freddy has the fedora, the sweater, the claw, and the burn skin. And Ghostface also has a plethora of iconic traits as well, with the creepy weeping ghost mask, also now known as the Ghostface mask, the long cloak, the Buck 120 hunting knife, and, of course, that voice. And the voice was created with a voice changer. And those voice changers have changed throughout the films, even though the voice has remained the same, the actual item used to create the voice has changed quite a bit. So today we're going to be taking a look at every single voice changer used in the Scream franchise. Starting off with the original, Scream 1996. Here we have the exact same model voice changer that was held and used by Stu and then tossed to Billy. Now we really get a good close-up look at this thing when Billy has it, saying a few really creepy lines there at the end. Spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen the films, I guess this is a good point to go ahead and tell you, if you haven't seen these movies for whatever reason, you might have a few spoilers in store. But yes, regardless, we do see Billy using one of these, holding it almost as such, with the switches pointing outwards, and at the top the Goldtronic logo is covered. And that brings us to the brand. This is a Goldtronic brand voice changer. Now unfortunately for any of you out there that are looking for one of these, at this point in time, this is literally the only known copy out there. We haven't seen the original Scream used one in years, and this is the only one to ever surface. No photos of them online, nothing. In fact, before this one surfaced, many people thought that the original voice changer was just custom made for production, because these were the only styles that we could find. Here we have another voice changer, which I guess was put out by Unitone, was possibly put out by another brand, because they did have different packaging options. We have this one, which is a robot hand flipping the bird there. You kind of pay attention. Really cool, colorful box. And then we have this one that I found, which is by Unitone. And whereas the other one looks more like a party gag type thing, this actually says Home and Office Safety and Security. So, some very interesting situations there on the back that you could use this for. But if you look at this style voice changer, you can understand with the telephone voice changer font and the telephone logo there, how many of us would think that this was either the original one or this is what they modeled the original after, or even modified. So many people out there that have one of the original Ghostface voice changers in their collection have one of these. And even for myself, this was mine in my collection for many years. I considered it to be pretty much the same one or the one they based it off of. However, just recently I got incredibly lucky and came across this one. And this is, for sure, the same original one, even confirmed by the prop masters. So this is the model voice changer used in Scream 1996. Goldtronic seems to be a brand from the 1980s who put out several different electronics, but they weren't super popular, or at least didn't seem to last a while, because they didn't make products for a long time period, or very many products. Finding anything from them is actually difficult, and finding another one of these is going to be next to impossible. If you're a Screaming Ghostface fan out there and you're after one, I wish you the best of luck. Alright, moving right along to Scream 2, we see Mickey using the voice changer during the reveal scene. Yet again, spoilers if you haven't seen these movies. And he's kind of holding it as such. All you can really see is that he's holding a small white plastic box. And because we don't really get a full shot of the voice changer before he drops it, many people thought that this may not even be the same voice changer from Scream 1. Perhaps it is just a small plastic box and there was no actual voice changer prop. Well, after showing this to the prop master, after taking a closer look at the movie, the shape of this thing, even speaking to some other fans and collectors like Nate Reagan, getting their opinions on it, I think at this point we all pretty much agree that the Scream 2 voice changer was the very same style one used in Scream 1. The Goldtronic telephone voice changer. So yet again, for you Scream and Ghostface fans out there who are dying to add one of these to your collection, that is unfortunate. There are people out there that make very close replicas of these before this one even came out, so they were working exclusively off of the movie shots, and they did a very good job on those. However, now that I do have this one, I think I may try and mold this to make replicas for some of you Scream and Ghostface fans out there who want to have the most accurate voice changer in your collection. Alright, so there's Scream 1 and 2 out of the way. Let's move on to the one with the most iconic voice changer, of course, Scream 3. This thing right here, this little device, caused a lot of problems for a lot of fans for many years. In fact, to most people, this particular prop was one of the biggest, not realistic things added to the franchise, just kind of took the realism away from it. The technology of being able to perfectly imitate someone's voice and replicate it with a voice changer like this was, at least to us, completely unknown of, and we thought that that wouldn't exist. In fact, a few years before AI started doing the voice deepfaking things, people were still hating on Scream 3 largely because of this prop. This is Roman's voice changer from Scream 3. Again, hated by many people, even still today. Personally, I think it is a really cool device. Of course, it did take realism away from the franchise during that time period for many years. But at this point, I think it's a really cool prop. I mean, I think we can all agree that it was a cool prop, even when the movie came out back then. It just wasn't very realistic. It was kind of an odd piece, but man, did it look cool. Seeing this thing light up, just the overall shape and design of it, it is a really undeniably cool prop. And it was custom made for production, so for any of you out there who are trying to get one, you're gonna have to get a replica. And at this point, there are many artists who 3D print them and make their own replicas. However, I believe the best person creating them, at least currently and offering them, is Multiverse Replicas. This was a Multiverse one. This was one of the earlier styles. This is a completely static prop. It's just for display purposes. However, now he does offer metal versions where you can actually push the buttons, they light up, everything. They're very cool. It's also worth mentioning that in Scream 3, they did have a couple of alternate voice changers that were used. There was one that was a small metal puck with this screen shape sharpied on and screws in the front face to be the buttons. And I actually almost obtained this one years ago. However, when I was looking at it and in the process of purchasing it, I was told it was a prototype for the original voice changer. It turns out it was actually a stunt model that was used in a couple of scenes. Another model that was never seen on screen, and many people don't even know about, is a small, masking tape made one that was on Roman's utility belt. Many people have never seen that, but now you have. Moving right along to Scream 4. In Scream 4, there is no voice changer prop like this, no small novelty item that was used or military-grade voice changer. Instead, we had simply a phone app. Earlier during the movie, it is mentioned that it is just an app that everybody has. It's a voice changer app. And I believe right after Scream 4 came out, or during the promotional cycle, they did actually make a voice changer app that you could download on your phone. However, it was removed from the App Store. So I guess the voice changer for Scream 4 would just be an iPhone. It's not one of these, it's technically an iPhone 4. You can see Charlie using it later in the movie. So Ghostface's voice changer would have been an app on an iPhone 4, if you specifically care about that level of accuracy. Moving right along to Scream 2022, or Scream 5 Cream, I'm still gonna have fun with that name. We were back to using an actual voice changer. Now, at one point, we see them switch it on their neck. We see the light up through the mask. Given how the voice changer is built, kind of odd placement there. Cool looking scene, didn't really make a lot of sense, especially when we actually see the voice changer revealed. Later, we do see Richie using one of these. Now, this voice changer is essentially a recast of this original older style. However, these were put out more modern day, exclusively through China. You can order these on eBay all day long. Or at least you used to be able to. Maybe they're sold out at this point. I know people were buying them up to get them signed by Jack Quaid. As for the specific model, this is an SXD voice changer. Yet again, directly from China. I do believe they make these in a dark blue variant, and of course this like pale grayish color. If you put it side by side with one of the vintage originals, it looks like it's a recast. It looks like it could be an exact like knockoff copy of it, but they are a little bit different. The way that the plastic shell is made and put together, the lettering here even is completely different. It says Televoicer telephone voice changer. The phone style is different, but it's pretty much just a knockoff of that old original style. Nonetheless, regardless of original, knockoff, this is the style that we do see Richie Kirsch using in the end of Scream 5. Alright, now moving on to Scream 6. Now, for Scream 6, we don't really see a voice changer used. We don't see a phone used as a voice changer. We don't see an actual voice changer prop used. However, if you want to count this, we do see Roman's voice changer in the Scream 6 shrine. So, technically, this one is in Scream 6. It's a Scream 6 Ghostface voice changer, I guess. It's just not the style used by the killers. So yeah, with that being said, I think we've pretty much covered everything from the films. And just to give you guys a quick cliff notes on the TV series, no voice changer seen in seasons 1, 2, or 3. The Lakewood Slasher does use a phone app. I believe it's mentioned it's like a $1.99 cheap app. Completely different voice, of course. We're not talking Roger Jackson. Completely different, but still worth mentioning. And then, of course, Roger Jackson did come back for season 3. And same thing with that voice changer. I think it's pretty much just an app on a phone. I don't think we ever see them use it specifically, but it is just implied it's an app. So yeah, there you have it, guys. That is the guide to every single style voice changer used in the Scream franchise. Screams 1 through 6, the TV series, everything covered. So for any of you out there who are looking for these, I wish you the best of luck, especially if you're after one of the Scream 1 and 2 styles. They are incredibly, incredibly difficult to come across. However, I am super pleased to have the entire set here represented in the Ghostface Museum and able to represent for you all here on YouTube. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I love you all. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.